Max Verstappen dominates the Bahrain Grand Prix. For the first time in his Formula One career, Max Verstappen wins the Australian Grand Prix. Max Verstappen wins the Miami Grand Prix. Max Verstappen wins the Monaco Grand Prix. The Dutch driver will see their checkered flag first, and it's win number 40 in Formula One for Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen wins the Canadian Grand Prix. Max Verstappen wins the Austrian Grand Prix. Max wins the British Grand Prix. The Dutch driver has dominated once more. 7 victories in a row for Max Verstappen, who wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. Max Verstappen wins the Belgian Grand Prix. Verstappen crosses the line to win 9 Grand Prix in a row and tie the all-time record. We are witnessing something that no one has ever seen in the entire history of Formula One. A landmark for Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen wins 10 Grand Prix in a row. Max Verstappen wins the Japanese Grand Prix. Max Verstappen wins the Qatar Grand Prix. Max Verstappen takes victory. He wins the US Grand Prix. Max Verstappen wins the Mexico City Grand Prix. Max Verstappen wins the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Verstappen puts his name up in lights once again. For the final time, Max Verstappen wins 19 Grand Prix in a single season. Amazing stuff. He wins the Abu Dhabi.
As the 2023 Formula One season has ended and all teams are beginning their development on their 2024 cars, the question is, who will stop Red Bull? Red Bull showed a level of domination never seen in the sport ever, with Max Verstappen looking more unstoppable than prime Schumacher or prime Hamilton. Red Bull's dominance began in 2022, the regulations changes introducing the somewhat new ground effect cars. After winning the Drivers' and Constructors' Champion in 2022, it was clear Red Bull had the best car and then jump on the other teams. But in 2023, the term dominance was changed as Max Verstappen had led Red Bull Racing to the Drivers' and Constructors' Championship with a record-breaking total of 19 wins for Verstappen and 21 total wins for Red Bull Racing this season. Max winning the Drivers' Championship with nearly 300 more points than his teammate Sergio Perez, who placed second. It was a landslide victory. But too many F1 fans, me included, thought it was a very boring season as most races saw Verstappen in the front row taking the lead, sometimes illegally.
Esteban Ocon has got a 10-second time penalty.
And then driving away with the victory. So as the 2024 season is approaching, the question is, can anyone beat Verstappen? One of the most likely teams to beat Red Bull is Mercedes, as Mercedes has been a powerhouse in Formula One and a formidable contender in previous seasons, winning 7 Constructors' Championships during the turbo hybrid era. Mercedes faced a challenging 2023 campaign with the new ground effect F1 cars. Despite finishing in second as the Constructors, their car was nowhere near the speed of Red Bull. Despite the significant changes from the Monaco Grand Prix onwards, the team found it difficult to reclaim the front position. Looking ahead to the 2024, Mercedes is undergoing a substantial overhaul. Toto Wolff, the team boss, unveiled the scale of the transition, stating, "We are changing the concept. Redesign encompasses every component, including the chassis, waste distribution, and airflow. The objectives are clear: to have a fighting chance against Red Bull." Toto Wolff acknowledges the risk, stating, "We could get it wrong also."
It's now time to meet our FIA Rookie of the Year.
Alonso's done it! Fernando Alonso on the podium for the 8th time this season.
Aston Martin's resurgence in 2023 saw them secure 8 podium finishes with a notable challenge for victory at the end of the Monaco Grand Prix. Led by rookie driver Fernando Alonso, the team's impressive performance marked a turnaround from their struggles with the reintroduction of the ground effect cars in 2022, prompting a concept change between the AMR 22 and the AMR 23, but it is unlikely that their car has the ability to challenge Red Bull for wins. There are also many discussions around the drivers, in particular Lance Stroll, and whether he is deserving of his seat. The team still has work to do with their current concepts and need to make further improvements to be competitive at the highest level. Despite being the only team alongside Rebel to get a victory in 2023, Ferrari experienced a disappointing campaign, only finishing third in the constructors after challenging Red Bull constantly for wins. Throughout the season, they have been steadily improving their car and demonstrated competitiveness in races with cooler temperatures. Ferrari needs to address the issue of overheating tires, which has been a hindrance in their performance. If they can resolve their tire wearing problems and improve their strategy calls and pit stops instead of relying on the drivers, Ferrari could pose a serious challenge to Red Bull in the 2024 season. Despite having one of the best cars on the grid in pure speed, especially in one lap, Ferrari is undergoing drastic changes according to the team principal. While he hesitates to label it a revolution, he acknowledges the need for a significant improvement. McLaren had a rough start to the 2023 season, but they made significant improvements with upgrades introduced in Baku. These upgrades revolutionized their car and put them to compete at a high level. With 8 podium finishes and a sprint win in the second half of the season, McLaren has shown that they can push Red Bull to the limit in some races, but struggles to maintain consistency throughout the season. The McLaren car has limitations that need improvement, particularly in terms of drivability. McLaren is aware that rivals like Mercedes and Ferrari are undergoing radical revamps. Despite the anticipated changes, the team principal believes McLaren is well positioned to make significant strides this winter due to the competitiveness of his current platform. If McLaren make the car easier to drive and continue with the successful upgrades, they have a potential to take on Red Bull in the 2024 season.